Are we on? Let's look over here real quick and see what we got. There we go. Nice, sweet. All right, looks like we might be on. Let me close the door. All right, my friends, just kind of a random live stream here. Oops. Random live stream, and we'll see how many people jump on board here tonight. I actually like doing live streams. I was listening to a Joe Rogan talk with Adam Curry. I don't know who Adam Curry was, but I guess he used to be an old MTV guy. That was pretty interesting. That was a pretty interesting live stream, actually. It wasn't a live stream, but a pretty interesting thing. And I'm looking over here. There's this page called that Adam was talking about, which is his. I don't know if I have it on here. I do. It's called No Agenda, and I'll bring you to it. Hey, what's up, Dana? Mitch. A fight in some. Man, I tell you, anytime the summer turns to fall, I get bleh, and I could feel that right now. Just my head's like bleh. So I haven't done any videos today. I was out in the garden a lot. I had a call. Took a couple naps, and I had a tennis match to watch my boy play. But we'll get back on it tomorrow. I'm gonna go to bed early tonight, take some NyQuil, and get knocked out, and I should be good to go. But anyway, I do like doing live streams, so I was gonna share with you guys something. Let's see, Central Ohio, Daryl, what's going on, man? I want to share with you guys this. I like that Adam Curry guy. I don't know if y'all follow him or know anything about him or follow Joe Rogan. I don't really listen to Joe Rogan all that much, but here's Adam Curry's No Agenda show. I was a big fan of it, man, of what this guy was saying, pretty much everything. I was stunned that he used to be an MTV guy because I was a big fan. So anyway, here it is, No Agenda. Definitely something worth your while to look at. And he was talking about this other guy named Mo Factz, Moefactz. I haven't listened to this guy yet, but as a black guy from Central, it looks like Central Virginia, maybe. Interesting stuff. Anyway, he's got a YouTube channel. I literally haven't watched any of his videos, but I thought it was interesting because I like people who got the guts to go against the grain. And Adam was doing that. I was stunned. I mean, I was like, this dude's everything he says, I'm like, yeah, nodding my head. Pretty cool. I like that quite a bit, actually. And while I'm on the thing on it here, hold on a second. Let me share with you guys this other channel you might want to look at. And then we've got a couple things to talk about retirement planning. Hold on just a second. And right here. Oops, gotta go here. Followed my man, I didn't know this dude's name, Barricade Garage. I'm not sure what the guy's first name is. This guy's fantastic. He's funny, but he's also he's an intellectual, and yet he's a mechanic. He's literally an auto mechanic. He's an intellectual auto mechanic, which kind of like the uneducated economist guy. But he's a deep reader, deep thinker, and he's funny as all can be too. And you can see it's just the breaks there. It's just a good guy, man. Anyway, I'm a big fan of this guy. Every time he puts a video out, and his videos are pretty short, 2 minutes, whatnot. It's actually pretty funny. Oh my goodness. So follow that guy too. A big fan. I don't know his first name. I said, dude, I said, I'd love to interview you. He never got back to, which is fine because he's got a lot of subscribers. Big fan of Barricade Garage. So follow that guy as well. So anyway, just a couple things. All right, so let's see what I want to share with you guys today. There's a huge Trump parade on I-275. Right on, man. Cute humor from Tennessee. Right on. Hi from Nasty and Smoky. Hey, Deb. I haven't seen you around for a while. Number one thing to determine your success in retirement. So I want to dive in that right quick. In the last 2 days, I've done financial planning for two people. One's a single guy and one's a married guy. Both the single guy's got like $1.5 million. He's about 51 years old. And he's good health, the whole thing. And we're running the numbers and it just doesn't look good. And the reason it doesn't look good because he has no idea what his expenses are. Now, I said, look, you have to figure this out because if you don't know what your expenses are, there's no way we can determine if you can cut out. There's just none whatsoever. So anyway, this morning he got back to me and said, I want to reduce what I thought it was by this certain amount. I said, see, now everything changes. That one little thing. So whereas before there's no way he could cut out when he wanted to, now you can. And this would be a few years out, but still, he's hoping to cut out yesterday. But without having a clear view of expenses, I think anyway, so he went from X to Y, and that made the big difference for sure. It made everything. It made the difference. But is that a true number? I don't know. I don't think he knows. To be perfectly honest with you. This morning I was dealing with some folks. Great couple. They get about 900,000 between them. No debt at all. They live in one of the more inexpensive states in the union, and he's just he hates his crappy old job. His wife is still gonna be doing what she's doing for a little bit longer, probably another 8 years. They're both gonna have pensions. They got no debt whatsoever. He nothing. It's crazy. But again, until we know what expenses are, it's awful hard to figure out if you can try it. Now these guys will be fine. They got pensions, no debt. They're gonna be fine for sure. But again, the issue is, well, is it this expense or that expense? And I tell you, man, until we know that, you just don't retire until you know. I cannot stress this enough. We can run plans all day long for you, but if it's just guessing, it's speculation. And so one of the things you want to do is, truly a year out, get a gauge and say, how much do we really spend? And then really get a gauge of what your vacation is going to be and things like that. Hey, what's going on, guys? I can't stress this enough. Get a gauge of what your expenditures are going to be. You can't be speculating here. Oh, yeah, by the way, what do I love? Pablo? Yes, but I also love fossil fuels. I love fossil fuels. I was wearing that at my son's tennis match today. He goes, Dad, I think people are mad by you wearing that shirt. So I don't care, because I guarantee they love fossil fuels too, even though I admit it, they won't. Had a lady on here today, Mary G. Well, I said, saying about, the climate change in California is caused by, or the California wildfires are caused by climate change. It's silly. But I say, okay, well, that's true. And the assumption is human beings are causing this by spitting out CO2. Why, heaven forbid, I hope you never get on an airplane again. And she goes, or he or she, I'm not sure it's a woman, actually. I think it might be a man. Guys hiding as a woman because they know we'll be softer to the ladies than we are to the men. That's what the thought process was. I don't know that to be true, to be honest with you. I was watching Prepper Princess the other day. They got some clown from North Dakota who's like stalking her. It's freaking disgusting. It's disgusting stuff, these guys. Nasty. So while we think you might get more kid gloves if you pose as a woman, I don't think that's true at all on YouTube. Anyway, be that as it may. So this lady's like, yeah, of course I wouldn't take a plane during COVID. I said, yeah, but that's not the issue. It wasn't just during COVID that CO2 is going in the atmosphere. Now is it? So if you're taking a plane, you also love fossil fuels. That's a fact. Government pensions, yeah, right on. That's what it is, yo pappy. Government pensions. Well, in this case, no. The guy from today, his wife is going to have a government pension. He had an old pension from an older blue chip company that no longer offers a pension. And so the pension is, no one's getting them anymore. I can almost guarantee you, if you go work for the county, you're probably not going to be getting a pension either. Those days are pretty much gone. So you're going to have to finance this on your own, which means you got to be understanding what your expenses are. I know I've said this a million times. Yeah, you saw that too? Cute humor? The clown from North Dakota? What the hell, man? It's just freaking. And then, but not that, she actually did a video on him. And I just, what is it with these? It's just weird. So this guy has all kinds of links to young girls doing, it's freaking disgusting. It's disgusting. And then you see right on T-Tuck. I hope you like it, man. Give me some, if you like it, give me a rating on Amazon for sure. But anyway, so this guy, then you got that Netflix movie, whatever. I'm not watching it, but as someone had posted where they're dancing, it's freaking disgusting. And the sad thing is, if you actually the thing in that movie, what's it called? Cute Girls or something? Cuties, that's what it's called. The thing is, if you actually listen to what the concept was supposed to be, it was supposed to be telling little girls not to freaking be Cardi B types, like Candace Owens was saying about Cardi B. Dude, but yet you would never know that because the dancing and stuff is just so disgusting, man. So disgusting. It just, oh, freaking, what is it with these? But there are men who crave that stuff. It's freaking disgusting. And yet we're allowing it to be like, oh, it's just natural to, it's nasty. Anyway, I don't know if y'all saw right on, George. Hey, I don't know if you saw the Netflix, not the Candace Owens takedown of Cardi B or whatever. Cardi B, I just like, oh, it was epic. And I don't follow that much, but I was listening to somebody today on video on YouTube. Was taking Pablo for a walk. Can't remember who it was, but he's talking about who was that? I forgot. Talk about Candace Owens taking out Cardi B. It was fantastic. Our side is better than theirs. We're more equipped, and the reason we're more equipped is because we've been fighting the mainstream media since day one. We haven't, the corporate media, education establishment, mainstream media. If you have a counter thought, you have to learn you have to be strong enough to have a counter thought and to think it through. The left-wing media, they just, they don't have to think because they're all just fed, they're fed sugar all day long. They don't know, they just get fat because they've just been fed sugar. And if you follow the thing where you're just, I'm going to go along with whatever they tell me, yes, just nodding your head, yes, you don't have a clue about the real world. So when you're dealing with someone who actually has some knowledge with a thought that you've never been exposed to, you're like, whoa, I don't know, it's crazy, man. Hey, Nancy. Cancel Netflix is Dan, right on. Yeah, no, she is. It's just embarrassing. It's the funny thing is, great riff is that Cardi B doesn't realize how much the left is using her. They think they're using her because of her brain. They're not at all. They're using her just because of her audience. They don't care less about her. It's sad, and she's being used. That's all there is to it. It's no different than an athlete from the inner city who all these great coaches are like, yes, we love you, and they may blow out an ACL, kick to the side. Sad. Yeah, it's nuts. All right, so anyway, so these guys today, the couple, they're gonna be pretty good, I know, but even then I said, are you really spending this kind of money? Because I don't know. And one thing I did learn, by the way, is that I gotta get with them back again. For some reason, we were unable to contribute to their Roths. And I said, why can't we contribute to their Roths on Right Capital? We could not contribute to the Roth IRAs. I was like, why? And the reason we couldn't, and I had to get off the horn with them. I was like, I don't know what's going on. They're not allowing us to contribute to the Roth IRA. And the reason was because they didn't have enough surplus cash flow on the wife's income. So let me tell you. So for simply, wife makes 50, hub makes 50, just for simplicity. That's $100,000. When they have two incomes coming in, they're spending $80,000 and contributing $13,000 to a Roth, just for simplicity. All right. So when all said and done, they got $100,000, $93,000 of expenses. I hope that makes sense. But the minute the husband stops working, they no longer have $100,000 and $93,000 expenses. They only have $50,000 and $93,000 expenses. So the software Right Capital will not let them contribute to a Roth IRA while they're in a cash flow deficit. I did not know that. That was interesting. And the interesting thing is they have 100,000 sitting in cash. So we could easily take it in real life, you just pull it from the cash and put it over here, but the software won't let you do that because the software says, as long as you're living in deficit spending, we're not going to allow you to contribute to Roth IRAs or pre-tax IRAs. Now they can still do their 401ks and 403bs, but they couldn't do it to a Roth or a traditional IRA. Just FYI, if you're using Right Capital software, just remember that. If you have deficits, it won't let you contribute to a Roth or an IRA. You can still do your matching in a 401k or 403b, just FYI. That's crazy. Good. Savings rate isn't that big of a deal. You should do that, but I'm telling you, it's expenses. I've said this a million times. I'm sure y'all will unsubscribe, but because I keep saying the same thing, I cannot sit there enough and saying this guy who's 50 with $1.5 million. And I said, you can't retire. And he's like, man, I thought I could. Yeah, I could see he was frustrated. I could tell. He's a nice guy. He wasn't frustrated with me. I said, I know. But until we know this number and these two people here, I'm like, they're going to be fine. But we're kind of treading. I'm like, they're going to be fine. But it's just, again, we're sitting there thinking, ugh. So anyway, a year out, just start, 6 months out, something. Just get a gauge of how much it costs to live. And don't just throw it out there. And remember, Right Capital, we're taking your expenses, your discretionary expenses, how much the cost of food to eat, how much it costs to fill the gas up a car, car up with gas. How much does it cost to fill the car up with gas? How much does it cost to eat? How much is it going to cost to, I don't know, what, freaking rent Netflix or whatever, all that stuff. That's discretionary. The things that are not discretionary should not be under that retirement expense button. The things that are not discretionary, property tax, homeowners insurance, healthcare costs, income tax is also on there as well. And the big one would be healthcare costs and housing. All right. So the things that are not discretionary, housing, which would include property tax and homeowners, healthcare costs, not discretionary, income tax. I already said income tax, healthcare. But then you put also goals in there as well. So like vacation. So if you're spending $4,000 a month, like how much you think you'll take on vacation? Say $10,000 a year. Let's just use that for example. Separate that from the $4,000 a month, and I'll say, well, is that $4,000 a month including your $10,000 a year vacation? If you say yes, then we want to back down that $4,000 a month to, I guess, be $3,200 a month and have as a separate vacation. The more line items we had on cash flow, the better, because then we can say, well, maybe we don't need $10,000 a year on vacation. Maybe it's 8,000 or something like that. Or maybe we can have $10,000 a year for the first 10 years and 5,000 after that. Something like that. The more line items you have, the more we're able to adjust and change around the numbers for sure. But if we just say, I think it's going to be 6,000 a month. Why? Where are you getting at? In this case, they said 6,000 a month, but that also was including healthcare, which we have a separate line item for. That was also including property tax and all that. So don't do that. So again, we want to make sure the retirement monthly expenses is discretionary stuff that you say. I mean, again, I want to get a subscription to freaking, I don't know, Washington Redskins football stadium. What, you know what I'm saying? You're like, this year I'm not going to do that. That would be under retirement living expenses. Did I just say Washington Redskins? Oh my gosh. I'm sure YouTube's going to ban me. Just watching a little bit of Georgia Tech and Florida State. The Florida State clarinet players, and we're literally wearing masks. Freaking insane. All right, so this guy who I don't know who the players are, but they went over the middle with a pass. The free safety came up and knocked the wide receiver off the ball. Both were hurt. The guy who is hurt is walking off in the going like this, no mask on, which is fine. One trainer had a mask on. One guy had a trainer with a mask down here, and one guy who's helping out that had no mask on. So I'm saying this whole freaking thing is stupid, man. So one guy had it on, one guy had it down to here, one guy had no mask on, and the player had no mask on. And yet the Florida State freaking clarinet people, the horn section essentially, was playing with masks on. The whole thing's freaking stupid. Can we just acknowledge this whole thing is stupid? You can blame Trump, I don't care, but can we just acknowledge there is no freaking rhyme or reason for this? It's just straight up stupid. No one knows what the hell they're talking about. We got someone who said, was someone I know near to my heart, someone who she works with, son was exposed to someone who was tested positive for coronavirus. And again, the tests are so silly. So the son was exposed, we'll say, on September 1st, all right? But it wasn't until September 5th where people found out that the son was exposed to this kid on September 1st. He hadn't seen this kid since. So the son has a 14-day quarantine from not September 1st when he was exposed, but September 5th. The mom is going to be quarantined too, not from September 1st or September 5th, but when they found out at work, September 8th. All right, so let's see. Well, American living in Mexico, right on, Kevin. Yeah, share some stuff about Mexico, dude. I interviewed a couple of folks down in Mexico about 3 or 4 months ago, and they're loving it. You know, they said there's two. You got the rich people, personal health care, and then everybody else. And the rich people wasn't that expensive. Talking to, the cost of living is much cheaper. And I said, what about the cartels? And it's one of those things, like, it's like anything, man. It's like, if you say in America is dangerous, you're going to get shot. America is a big flipping country. If you stay away from Southside Chicago, and there's and some various other places in urban areas, unfortunately, you're not getting shot. It's just not happening. In fact, I was listening to my man Sticks Hexhammer today talking a lot about this too. He goes, there is no violence in America. The vast majority of America is violent free. That's just a fact. You take away some of these communities, there's lots of violence, which is sad. That's what pisses me off about Black Lives Matter. How come they didn't say anything about that? They never say anything about that. But you take away some of these areas, in urban areas, there's just no violence in the United States. And the interesting thing was, I don't know about Mexico, but I have a sneaky suspicion a lot of Mexico is just doing just fine like everybody else. I don't know. But, we get suckered into thinking, oh my goodness, Mexico, this, that, and the other. I was interviewing my man, Michael Edison yesterday. I'd highly, if you want to listen to an intelligent dude, this guy's got a PhD in mathematics. He says Eugene Fama doesn't know his math. But Eugene Fama, look, I'm just repeating what this guy says. French Fama, that's how I got my start in this business, reading French Fama, the 3-factor model in 1993 or 1994. Small cap value stocks. That was the basis of the French Fama stuff. That's where dimensional fund advisors comes from. And if memory serves, did one of those guys even win a Nobel for economics? I can't remember. But Edison, who's literally a PhD in math, said these guys, their math is bad, is atrocious. Very, very interesting. Anyway, the point was, he was in Hong Kong. I said, well, what's going on in Hong Kong? He goes, man, the New York Times, who I used to trust. And I said, a dinging going up in my head, because if you're trusting the New York Times, you're definitely coming from the left. And I always knew Michael was a left-wing guy just because I read him, but he's a smart guy. So he's not just a go on to get along guy, but still a lot of these older men or older people from the East Coast were raised up with the New York Times as almost like the Bible. And they cannot separate that the New York Times could be feeding them a bunch of lies. They just can't, it doesn't fathom. But anyway, he goes, yeah, I can't trust the New York Times on the reporting on Hong Kong. And it's very interesting, actually. And that's why I said, I wonder if that's the same with Mexican cartels. I mean, who knows? What else is going on? Is that the same in all these other places? They just report on the stuff that, generates clicks, maybe Venezuela. I don't know. But, I don't trust me as far as I could kick him. So basically, so I was glad to hear this guy, Big Lim, you know what I'm saying? Got his PhD in 1972. Sounds like he's probably raised in the New York area or someplace, the northern East Coast. The New York Times violating his trust, that'd be just shocking to this guy. But he goes, look, I'm here in Hong Kong, and what they're writing about isn't what I'm seeing. It's just not. So pretty interesting. But anyway, so going back to Mexico, that's something that would be, I think a lot of people, if they felt there was not a big issue with Mexican cartels, would be interested in that for sure, as opposed to go to Thailand and Philippines and stuff. I got no problem with that either. I'm just saying Mexico is just right there, and you can come back and hop and skip for sure. Yeah, right on. Rick says he's been binge watching my channel. Right stuff. Let's take a look. We're gonna see. Hold on just a second. I want to see how many people got. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna go to my thing. I want to know how many subscribers I lost yesterday because I did 2 videos that were very offensive, I think. So I've lost. I didn't lose any subscribers on my Kyle Rittenhouse video. I lost a few. But ultimately, I didn't. But ultimately, I had more. I think I netted 1 subscriber on my Kyle Rittenhouse video. So let me just see on my one on the reparations, because you don't have to like my. It doesn't. It's completely up to you to decide what you want to do. So I'm doing a live stream on Monday with some folks who are what's called ADOS, which is African descendants of slaves, and we're gonna have a discussion on reparations. And I still believe, and no one can convince me otherwise, that there is a case to be made for reparations for Black Americans, not immigrants, but Black Americans. So I'm just curious to see how many people I lost on that. So we can go. I'll share my screen with you, and we'll look at what we have here. So I lost 3 subscribers there. Okay, I made $3. So I had 611 views, which is less than normal. Watch time, my videos are longer, so I usually get higher watch time. That's what all YouTube cares about. I did lose 3 subscribers though. So let's see, we'll go to audience here, and we will see, subscribers right there. So I lost 3, right when I published that, 3, and here's the interesting thing is here I had more, if we go to overview, I had more negative likes. Let's see. Engagement, is that what it is? I had more down, thumbs down than thumbs up, and that's a very atypical. Anyway, that's pretty interesting to me. I guess I can't see details. Hold on just a second. That's interesting. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's on here. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, I don't know where it's at. So let's. That's interesting. So so if you're doing a YouTube channel, you can go to analytics and see what all your. I do so many videos. I don't really have the time to look at all this stuff, but you can see all the what you're doing. 22.8% is a low duration. You really want to get 50%. 3 minutes and 36 seconds. That's not very long. For me, my average video view is about 6.5 minutes or so. And average duration is about 48%, which is pretty good for YouTube standards. I don't see where I can. I'm not sure where I can show you the thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, all right. So let's go back. Let's see what my other video did on when I talked about having some compassion for addicts. Let's see how that did. So I had a little bit more views. And let's see how many subscribers I lost here. Now, I'm not trying to lose subscribers, but people get I lost 1. That's it. I would have thought I lost more than that. And just 1 right there. So, all right, we'll see. That 23 hours watch time. That's good. Ooh, let's go see what my one with and they watch 41.5%. That's good. You're trying to get 50%. For you YouTubers, if you can get 50% duration, you're doing good. I tell you, don't focus on trying to get only 3-minute videos. That's not good. You want longer videos. YouTube will make more money off your ads. I don't put the ads on, my friends. I just follow what YouTube does. Anyway, so let's look at this here. And this is my long interview I did with Michael Edison. This is about 1.5 hours. So let's take a look at, and again, not many views on this, but that's okay because the watch time should be pretty high, I would think. Let's see. Yeah, so at 89 hours of watch time. That's fantastic. And I made $5 on that. So nothing wrong with that. The average watch time is 15 minutes. So it's kind of like the Joe Rogan podcast stuff. I was watching him and Adam Curry. It has a 3-hour long video. Very few people are gonna watch the whole 3 hours. Joe was drunk and he was annoying. Actually, I was like, dude, can you freaking? It was embarrassing. I was like, dude, stop, for heaven's sake. He was just drunk because every time Adam was getting on to make a good point, Joe like, bleh. I was like, oh my goodness, drunky McGee. I said, that's how I used to be. I guarantee. I'm like, oh, it's embarrassing. But anyway, so what you're trying to do here is you want to get, that's 19.7 duration. Isn't good, but for 15 minutes, that's fantastic. So that's good stuff. I don't look like I gained any subscribers or not. So but that's okay. Only 353 views, but look at all that watch time. Now, lastly, let's see the other one I did yesterday on the Chiefs. Booing the Chiefs fans, booing the NFL. Let's see what we got. 14,000 views, which is nuts. And we're going to go to analytics. And for me, I don't get that. I usually get 2,000 or 3,000 to good. I got 30 subscribers. Jeez, man. I made $65 off that. Jeez. That's, look, only 25% duration, only 2 minutes of duration. That's 542 minutes of watch time. Of hours of watch time. That's 30 subscribers. That's crazy. That's crazy. Most of my I don't know why people got all excited about that. So this is more typical right here for me. After a couple of days, usually 2,000 or 3,000 views. This is a little bit on the high end. Should Barbara and John convert 100,000 to a Roth? I figured I'd do it while we got you here. Got 4 subscribers there, made $26. Nothing wrong with that. Again, 800 watch time hours. That's fantastic. 4 or 6 views. And this is right here. 45% average duration, over 10.5 minute thing. So what this tell me right here, guys, a couple things this tells me is when you're doing your YouTube stuff is that says, man, you want to do stuff that people are engaged with, and obviously the right capital stuff is it. You know what I'm saying? And when I go for my walks, I can't get in the right capital stuff. So right capital stuff is it. But I used to do a lot of right capital videos like every day. And they just weren't getting very much traction. I'll start doing more right capital videos because that inherently show that seems to be getting people fired up. You hate to say it, but the political stuff always gets people fired up because it has a side. There's two sides. Anytime there's a debate, it gets both sides interested, which is not good. But it's the political stuff works to generate attention. No other way around that. I try to, like, I don't hesitate to get political, but I don't want to be a political channel. That's not what I want to do in terms of being. Let me tell you about what happened to Trump and his rally in freaking Denver. That bores me. I don't want to do that. But at the end of the day, taxes, like I said the other day, is always political. So talk about taxes, talk about Marxism, communism. I hate it. People say that's political. That's fine. Talk about fossil fuels. I don't think that's political, but some people say it would be. So I'm not hesitant at all to bring some kind of political take in this. But that's what I'm going to do because I enjoy that for sure. I don't enjoy just stuff about like the coming real estate crash, the coming market crash. I'll do stuff like if I find there's an opportunity that might make sense that I'm thinking about. I still think at the end of the day, if you can wait 3 to 5 years, you're going to be able to find second houses on the cheap, mountain houses, maybe not beach houses, but second houses, vacation homes on the cheap because all these baby boomers are going to die off. People my generation don't have that. There's not very many of us. We're the baby bust. And the people in the younger generations, of which there are more, the baby booms part two, but they don't have any money. So all these baby boomers are dying off in their second homes. They're going to sell them to who? Who's going to buy them? The demand will be nil. So what I say is the coming vacation home opportunity or the coming real estate crash in Midtown, or not Midtown, Buckhead. Who was I listening to today too? Is Adam Curry. He was talking about. He said, "Look, man, with there's more and more people working from home, there's going to be less and less a demand of urban areas for businesses occupancy." And I said exactly. I said that like 8 months. I guess 6 months ago now. I said no one wants to have to work down in Buckhead with a freaking premium with the office complex is $25,000 a month. If 3/4 of your workforce is going to be working from home, and you have high property taxes, and you have a mayor who's telling you can't freaking take a pee without a mask on and a freaking face shield, and you're worried about BLM and Marxist Antifa coming at you. No one's going to want to do that. So inherently, it says to me that the cities are going to be hurting for sure, and yet the suburbs, especially the suburbs where you have a mayor and a chief of police, are going to say, no, we're not letting this crap. And again, Delaware AG, whoever the Delaware AG, vote for that person for Senate or governor or president if that person ever runs, because who is in Denver? Hold on a second. Let's find out who the Delaware Attorney General is, because this person, at least my understanding, having watched Tim Pool, let's see who this is. No, hold on a second. It's Kathy Jennings. All right. Well, I don't agree with her on a lot of stuff. I can tell you that right now. A mail delivery lawsuit, but she is the person, I think, according to Tim Pool, that was going after those two stupid idiots that punched that little boy took that little boy's MAGA hat and attacked these Donald Trump people in Delaware. Yeah, it was in Delaware. Anyway, so she's throwing the book at him hard. So Kathy Jennings, I like it, man. I like it, Kathy. So I don't like all the other stuff, I guarantee, but she's got guts. So she said, we're not having these freaking crazy loons here. We're going to throw the book at them. So that way, if they do engage in reckless behavior against political opponents, you're not going to deal with that crap. I'm all for that for sure. So anyway, I'm a big fan. First time, long time of that lady. Again, I'm sure I don't agree with her on anything else, but the fact that she's willing to stand up for your right to protest makes sense to me. All right, so let's keep going. We got, what is the average age of client that engages your services? I get this a lot. People are usually 2 to 3, maybe 5 years out. Which I've told 2 people today that they shouldn't, simply because they're not. if you're not looking at if retirement or quitting your crappy old job isn't imminent, then you don't need me, man. Just keep plugging away. That's all there is to it. If it's imminent, the next 3 years or so, then yeah, absolutely, got to get a plan of action going for sure. But this one guy, both these guys I talked to today were just, they're not happy in their crappy old jobs. They're like, well, I think it's time to leave. I just want to make sure if I can. And but if you're freaking happy and you're liking what you're doing and stuff, you don't need me, because there's nothing I can do for you. I mean, it's just like, well, what are you going to do? Pay down. I can tell you right now, pay down debt. Don't take on any debt. Put money into your 401k to the extent of the match. If you're making, in this one case, the guy was single, so he's in a 24% tax bracket, and he was thinking about going Roth. I said, no, don't go Roth until you quit your crappy old job. But for a lot of people making 60, 70,000 a year, I said, man, don't put it into your 401k to the extent of your match. Do the Roth 401k option if they allow it. But after that, if you get excess cash, put it into a brokerage account for sure, or just do the maximum contributions to a Roth as well. But that's it, man. And then I always talk about state documents. Let's make sure you got your state docs and all that. And then finally, if we need life insurance, if you have some debt, I said, just get a term life policy. That's it. There's really nothing to do for someone who's still working. Like, what could someone do for me financial planning wise? I mean, there's nothing. I mean, they can make me aware of the things I need to do, but I'm not getting ready to retire. And so as long as I got income coming in and I don't take on any more debt, I get the basics. Make sure your estate planning is done. Do make sure you go get life insurance. Everyone needs a 20-year term life insurance. That's all there is to it. Make sure you're invested aggressively enough to take advantage of the market upswings if you're not going to retire in a few years. You know what I'm saying? This is just that simple. Make sure all your accounts are titled joint tenants of rights to survivorship and all that. But other than that, there's nothing I can do for anybody. I say, you're good, man. You don't need me. I certainly don't need me for my fee. No way. Oh, that's another. Yes, right, Rick. I want to talk about this. Hold on just a second. Yes, hold on. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Rick. All right, so we're going to go to capitalresearch.org. All right, hold on just a second. All right, right here. Right here. Why does there need to be a wealth tax? I'm going to tell you right here, man, because these Capital Research Center is freaking awesome, man. We're going to look up right here. Arabella Advisors, $600 million shadow over the election. So what's happening here? You can read Capital Research stuff like crazy on Philanthropy gone wrong. And what's happening here is these guys are giving all their money to the left and left-wing causes. All these foundations, all these corporate entities, it's all going to the left. 94 to 6. $94 goes to the left, 6 goes to the right. The reason they send it to the left is because they're worried about the pitchforks on the left coming after them. As such, the Republicans, for heaven's sake, need to get in the game. They got a great article on how Walmart was actually donated to right-wing charity. Well, I say right-wing, those on the right. And then in 2011, they changed. They went 180-degree direction differently to the left, giving crazy money to far left groups. Far left, Planned Parenthood was another big, just far left groups. Just bad stuff, man. Bad stuff, bad people. All over the world too. And I'm like, well, hell, if Social Security is hurting and you guys got all this money, you feel in a way to give to the left-wing political causes, which are all they're doing is enhancing the wealth of less left-wing characters in the political causes. Why don't we just take some off the top and give them a freaking fun Social Security, Medicare? Or, as I said in my thing yesterday, we can use that as a way to pay for reparations. Not for every single freaking person of color. Has nothing to do with that. Has to do with a certain segment of society, and that's my argument, because it's a takings. Anyway, so Arabella Advisors, 600 million shadow over the election. Liberals may complain about dark money meddling in elections, but a 600 million empire has been aiding Democrats for years with almost no scrutiny from the media. The network is centered on 4 nonprofit sisters: the 1630 Fund, New Venture Fund, Windward Fund, and Hopewell Fund, operating from the office of Arabella Advisors. Where are they? In Washington, D.C. Since 2006, this network has pumped a stunning $2.4 billion with nary a peep about dark money from hawks such as Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island, while liberal groups bemoan the threat of conservative political spending to the Republic. This is until we exposed it last year in Big Money in Dark Shadows, a groundbreaking report that mapped the reaches of Arabella's $500 million profit empire. So we got left-wing foundation, all these funds, they pay the activist group, and then they pay the management fees to the for-profit Arabella. It's all freaking, it's just corrupt as the day is long. It's worse than freaking Joe Biden's son and Hunter. It's just corrupted. It's just nuts. In fact, they even show, they quote, capital research people quote the guy who founded the Tides Foundation. It's crazy. Talk about how corrupt these institutions are. It's nuts. So let's keep reading. Our report brought critical attention to the $500 million behemoths shaping the future of Americans' elections to suit the wishes of the ultra wealthy foundations and special interests. It revealed Arabella's extensive use of pop-up groups, slick websites designed to look like standalone activist organizations as front for its powerful set of in-house nonprofits. And the funny thing about Arabella, who was I looking at Arabella and they donated to? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I can't remember. It was ICL, the Imperial College of London. I can't remember if it was that, but it's groups like this who donate to ICL. Do you all remember what ICL is? Imperial College of London. That's where Neil Ferguson got his crap numbers to show that we're all going to die from commie virus. The same Neil Ferguson who said we're all going to die from H1N1, swine flu, freaking, what's the cow, freaking hoof and cow disease, whatever it's called. The same freaking ass clown who's saying this for years and years and years. And yet, crazy, right? These guys are just freaking, they're corrupt as the day is long. And so the right just says, well, but the thing is, they aren't playing on, they're playing 4D and we're playing freaking single dimension, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're using the Saul Alinsky rulebook to a T. And you say, look, start using it back on these freaking fools, man. Jeez. Start saying, wait a second. If you can donate all this money to freaking, well, I'll just show you right here. We got this, I'll go on to this right here. This is the Africa to become testing ground for a trust stamp vaccine record and payment system. A new biometric identity platform partnered with a Gates-funded GAVI, we'll get in that in just a second, Vaccine Alliance, and MasterCard will launch in West Africa and combine COVID-19 vaccinations, cashless payments, and potential law enforcement applications. What the hell is that? Where you can read all this. Raul de Yigo says this, the program, what's Gavi's? I can't remember what Gavi stands for. It's Vaccine Initiative, Global something vaccine. Anyway, a biometric digital identity platform that evolves just as you evolved is set to be introduced in low-income remote communities in West Africa, thanks to a public-private partnership between Bill Gates' Gavi Vaccine Alliance, MasterCard, and the AI-powered identity authentication company TrustStamp. The program, which was first launched in 2018, will see TrustStamp's digital identity integrated in the GAVA MasterCard Wellness Plan, a digital vaccine record and identity system that is also linked to MasterCard's click-to-pay system powered by its powerful AI and machine learning technology called New Data. MasterCard, in addition to professing its commitment to promoting a centralized record-keeping of childhood immunization, also describes itself as a world beyond cash. And its partnership with Gavi marks a novel approach towards linking a biometric digital identity system, vaccination records, and a payment system in a single cohesive platform. It's fantastic. Let's see. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has donated a lot of money. So the issue is that's just them. You got this COVID pass. Nothing scary there. But all these groups, man, they all fall under the same line. As where'd I go? Right here. Nope, right here. They all fall under this. What's up, big man? Don't forget, Pablo makes an appearance. You got to hit the paw. You got to paw the like button. But anyway, the issue that we have to contend with is all these left-wing shadow companies and institutes and things like that are just controlling the country, if not the world, and not to be involved in the fight from a right-wing perspective I think Marx said it. They're going to sell us the rope for which we hang about capitalists. I think that's Marx, or maybe it's Lenin. I can't remember. But either way, I think maybe it was Lenin. This is exactly what's happening. We tie our hands behind our back and yet the left just marches in their evil, evil ways. It's just, it's ugly. So anyway, remember, 94-1 is what these nonprofits are donating to left-wing causes. 94-1. In fact, it's crazy too when you think about it, because the charities that they donate, the foundations, were built by capitalists, Rockefeller. Oh, it's nuts. I got so much stuff on these guys. It's just, and Arabella Advisors is just straight up evil, dude. Evil people, man. What if we could see a link of the Arabella Advisors? Let's take a look here. Who they've. I'm not going to find out off the fly. But anyway, so remember that. But no, we can't have a wealth tax because they'll take away. They're not going to go after you, man. They're not going after you. They're not. You got to get in the game. Got to get in the game. And you say, hey, you're trying to steal our freedoms away in America. Well, we're gonna have to stop that somehow. But no, we're so we what's the word I'm looking for? They'll violate our libertarian spirits. As you're seeing Florida State University clarinet, whatever the people are called, playing the clarinets with a freaking mask on. Nuts. All right. How do we sign up to use Right Capital? I can send you a PayPal for $150. You don't own it, and you don't get any individual advice. Just FYI, you don't own it. You don't get any individual advice, and you'll lose access whenever I stop paying Right Capital. And as you know, I love Right Capital, so I can't say I will ever do that. But you never know. You never know. The number one thing was damn surfer was to know your expenses. You cannot do a financial plan without knowing expenses, and it's not speculative. It's got to be pretty thorough. What do you spend, and what do you intend to expend? The drawback is no one knows what the retirement expenditures are going to be. They don't, so they speculate. Well, I think it's going to be this. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. What do you do? We've got to know, or else we're sitting there with a guy with $1.5 million, a single guy, he's 50 years old. He's not looking good. And then he came back to me today. He said, well, I think I cut it down a little bit. I said, well, yeah, I hope so. If that's true, then you are looking good. But we went from, not looking good to looking good in the matter of, 12 hours. That makes me a little bit concerned. Don't let that be you. So get a gauge on that. Look into it deeply before you hang up your boots or you slug your crappy old boss in the head. Get a gauge of what your expenses are. 35-year-old, my man medic. Let's see, hold on a second. I saw my man medic. All right, what did medic say? Can I contribute to a Roth if I have a 1099 income living abroad? Yeah, I don't know how it works living abroad, Kevin. I don't know. Sorry, man. I imagine if you paid domestic taxes, you could, but I don't know. All right, medic. Hey, Josh, I'm 35 years old, doing 100% VTI in my 401k, this total stock index, HSA and Roth. Is this the best way to go for someone who wants a handoff approach and is okay with the risk? Unequivocally, yes. Yes, without question. Buy, hold, sell, or hold UPS stocks. Man, I have no idea. Let's take a look at what UPS is looking like. I haven't looked at UPS for a while. So let's see. We'll go to Market Watch. And I'm assuming UPS ticker is UPS, right? Yeah, there we go. So let's take a look at financials here. Oh, wait, am I sharing this? I don't think I'm sharing. Let's share screen. All right, so let's take a look at UPS financials here a little bit. Oh, they have 4.34 million shares a day trading. Shares a day. Oh no, if we had a small transaction tax, that'd be illiquid. That's what I was talking to Edison about yesterday, Michael Edison, because he had called out Vanguard on their fake news. Vanguard fake reported that the transaction tax had hurt middle-class investors. And he looked at the numbers and said, you guys are wrong. You're making crap up. And then they redid the article, but they didn't change their headlines. It's nuts. Watch my interview with Michael Edison. You're going to get pissed off. Vanguard freaking changed just the whole thing. It's just all corrupt. It's all corrupt as far as the day is long. Vanguard is sitting there saying, and I said, do you think it's a capture? Has Vanguard been captured by the industry? And he kind of acknowledged, must be, because why else? John Bogle would never have approved that, being against the transaction tax, because John Bogle said you shouldn't be trading. And if you trade, you should pay more. That's all there is to it. All right. So anyway, 4.3 million shares traded hands a day. All right. That means there's someone on the buy, someone on the sell. Right? There's not, if you get a tiny little transaction tax to go after high frequency traders, the hedge fund managers, whatnot, it's not going to cause trading volume to fall and make an illiquid market. It's just the whole thing's just freaking corrupt. These guys are corrupt. Vanguard is joining them. And the only reason they are is because they're going to take money. It's a money transfer from poor, ignorant people like college, essentially. College from poor young children who are ignorant to the rich class, wealthy administrators in college. That's all, and the stupid professors. That's all college is. It's a wealth transfer from the poor to the rich. No other way around that. Investment here like this is a wealth transfer to the hedge funds, the high frequency traders and whatnot, from the average Joe and Jane because of all the fees associated with investment management. It's nuts. All right, well, anyway, I like the dividend. I like the yield of 2.5, so that's good. But let's take a look at the financials. My biggest concern, are they paying their dividend by financing debt? And I literally have not looked at this. We're looking at it for the first time. So the first thing I want to look at is the balance sheet. So I want to see how much debt they're carrying because I don't like debt. All right, so they got cash and short-term investments, 2.73 billion. All right, I like to see that. Lots of accounts receivable, but it looks like that's been pretty steady. Actually, the accounts receivable have been going down for since 2015. All right, no, they've been going up. All right, I wonder why they should do it the other way. All right, so they got cash at, look at that, 5.25, and accounts receivable, 10.21 billion. Wow, that's a 30% increase from where they were just 5 years ago. So I'm not sure what that's about. That's a pretty significant increase in accounts receivable. All right, but let's take a look at, I want to see current assets. 645 other current assets. Okay, so total current assets are 17 billion. All right, so I like to see current assets 17 billion. Now we want to see what the current liabilities are. All right, so I don't care about goodwill, other intangibles. We just want to see liabilities. All right, so their current liabilities, we had 17 billion in current assets, of which how much was the cash? 5 billion was in cash. Okay, so short-term debt, only 3.96. Wow, that's pretty good. 3.96 of short-term and current portion of long-term debt. All right, now we go. So that's good. So their current cash can easily pay off all their debt if they wanted to. 5.56 billion of accounts payable, which is more than offset by 10 billion of receivables. That's in 2019. That was pretty solid to me. Dividends payable, 5.9 billion. I'm assuming that's a year. That can't be quarterly, right? All right. I have to assume that's a year. So total current liabilities, 15 billion, of which 6 billion is just dividends right there. So their total current cash is 10 billion. I mean, 5 billion. If we hey buddy, we got to hope those accounts receivables come to cash. They only had 93 million of write-offs, so it looks like their accounts receivables are pretty secure. Come on, buddy. So that looks like if they were able to convert 70% of these receivables, they'll be more than enough to pay off all the current liabilities, which includes 6 billion in dividends, without taking on any more debt. So that doesn't bother me. Let's take a look at their long-term debt. 24 billion, which is up significantly from 2015, which would be scary, but in some ways the cheap money doesn't shock me for the cheap money there. All right, they got about 1.3 of deferred taxes. So that doesn't jump out at me as anything overly risky. I mean, they took on a lot of debt. Look, they went from 11 to 12 to 20 to 20 to 24. They're definitely taking on debt. Hey, buddy. And but it doesn't look like they need to take that debt to pay the dividend. That's good. I like that a lot. So it doesn't seem like there'd be any reason why they would scratch their dividend at all. But I mean, who knows? All right, good. So that looks pretty good to me. All right, so I like that. But again, look, you got to understand, my friends, the stock market is literally a random walk down Wall Street. We don't know if the fundamentals are going to turn out in favor of UPS. No one has any idea. But anyway, let's look at the income statement. We want to make sure they're making money for sure. This will probably be as a 2019. Yeah. So gross income, 16 million. Net operating, let's see, pre-tax income 5.65, income tax deferred. Hold on just a second. Net income, right? So they're making money, man. I mean, look at that. EPS of earnings per share of 5.11, $5.11 per share. That's good. I'll take that. Earnings before debt, interest, taxes, earnings for interest, taxes, debt amortization. So they made 10.24 essentially in operating income. That 10.24 billion. In 2008, that's in 2019. I don't know, man. Looks pretty good to me. I got no qualm with that. I mean, they already talked about their dividend they paid. I just get the drawback is that we don't really know what the receipt. Here's their dividends right there. Yeah, $6 billion in dividends right there. Nope. 3.2 billion in dividends. Sale of repurchases. They paid $1 billion to repurchase some of their stock, and they issued 5.2 billion in debt. That would be the concern, is how much debt they're issuing, but then they're reducing it by 3.1 billion. So it might just be a refinance. I don't know that. And 2.26 billion in free cash flow looks pretty good to me. I'd have no qualm with it. I mean, I don't think I just rely on UPS to be my retirement account with that one stock, but that doesn't bother me. Yes, and then Dan says the go-go and slow-go years, way to express expenses for certain time frames too. That's right, Dan. So basically say, look, when I first retire, I'm going to spend $5,000 a month. After 10 years, I'm going to spend $4,000. After the next 10 years, I'll spend $3,000 or something like that. I completely agree. All right. COVID hysteria is driving me crazy. Let's get rid of these damn masks. Yep. S&P and total stock market, get some bond exposure close to retirement. Yeah, I got no qualm with that. Yeah. George says he knew a guy who registered to take the test, never took it, but it got a positive result in the mail. I've heard that 1,000 times. I heard it once, man. Yeah. It's called a damdemic, not damdemic. Costa Rica's popular retirement spot, I presume because of healthcare. Yeah, Costa Rica's for the trendy people, though, cute. Because they don't have an army. And so, we got the not the Amazon, but the the jungles down there, and it's where all the cool kids go to Costa Rica. I've never been. I'm sure it's freaking gorgeous. I don't know. It's one of those things like, oh, Costa Rica, we love you so. You don't even have a military. The jungle, the rainforest. We got the rainforest. Oh. All right. Jerry says, I am the man. Go to Montana. Yeah, man. Yeah, Thailand and Philippines. A guy just emailed me today, wanted me to do a plan for him from Thailand. I said, I just didn't feel comfortable doing it because he's not running out of money, man. He's not spending anything. I was like, dude, he's like not spending anything. He and his wife, they got like $1.5 million. It's like, I'm not going to charge you. You're not spending anything. You're fine. He's like, really? I said, yeah. And I think he might have asked me, should I do Roth conversions? I don't know how that works I just don't know how that works when you're an expat, and I'm not even sure. I just don't know. So I said, you should look into it, but I don't know if you should do it or not. Oh boy, Jerry says he won't be here long. His wife's cooking dinner. Oh man, Jill just got notified, but at least he did get notified. Kevin says doesn't agree with all my politics, but respects my point of view. Well, we're gonna have to freaking ban you, Kevin. You gotta agree with everything I say. How dare you? Funny thing is, if you did agree with everything I'd say you're nuts because I'm all over the place when it comes to this stuff. I made it like $1. There's pulverizer. No, YouTube does not give the name of those who unsubscribe. They don't. They don't know. Damn Surfer says he's looking to my reparations video. It should be interesting. Pulverizer says you can't convince me there's a case for reparations. Dude, trust me, I know what you're saying. I thought the same, and I probably won't convince you. I thought the same about gay marriage, and I just don't care. It's one of those things that just wasn't that big of a deal. But initially, oh my God, society's going to fall apart. I'm like, man, if that's the worst thing that society's dealing with, we're in a pretty good place, because it certainly isn't gay marriage, that's for sure. But I do think the right wing is missing an opportunity to have a dialogue with blacks, who are missing an opportunity to see a different point of view that could expand their political prowess, as opposed to always thrown in with the Democrats who use them and abuse them, just like they're using and abusing Cardi B. It's like, I don't give two craps about Cardi B. I don't know who she is. I mean, other than I just don't care. But I mean, my goodness, the idea that we really value your viewpoint, Cardi B, it's just this freaking nuts, man. No one cares. But you know, she has 1 million, 10 billion, trillion followers, and people are like, oh, Cardi B. I was against the stimulus checks. That's weird, because I have videos stating the exact opposite back in February. Weird that I was against the stimulus checks, because I have videos stating that I was actually all for them. Cute. You got to make up your mind, brother. You can't be calling me out when you actually got evidence against you, 100%. 100%. Because I've been calling this, as I say about reparations, it's a taking. When the government is telling people they can't engage in their God-given right to commerce and having a business, or walking down the street and buying an ice cream cone, you are taking from them. And if you take from them, you've got to make them whole. It's literally fundamental, that simple for me. If the government is going to be involved in saying you can't do this, and your income is at stake and your livelihood is at stake, the government needs to make you right. It's that simple, man. I don't understand, and I don't care what it is. And we go back to Kelo with Trump, and again, I'm adamantly against Kelo, but it was an eminent domain. The Supreme Court ruled in favor, because freaking Kennedy, thankfully he's gone now, ruled in favor of the government taking private property to give to another private entity. But at least the lady in the Kelo case, and again, there is a bit there, you can watch the thing. I'll bring it up. It's called, I will show you the video that you all should watch on this. All right. Hold on just a second. Right here. Share my screen. It's called Pink House, right here. It's not John, whatever that silly guy is, not that dude. It's Little Pink House. That is the name of the Kelo case that you can see on, oh man, where is it? Hold on just a second. Oh, Kelo. There we go. Little Pink House's Kelo case. Yeah, right here. Kelo, this from Reason Magazine. The Kelo decision 10 years later. Kelo, Little Pink House, that's what it's called. Little Pink House. The Kelo decision coming to big screen right there. So watch that, and you will quickly understand how eminent domain is bad. But at the end of the day, it is constitutional. But without question, it says to people, we can take your private property, give to other private property owners. What if they took your private property and didn't give it to any private property owners? They just said you can't do this. And why New York Times, the toilet paper? Do you have to watch the entire ad in my videos for me to get paid? Man, I don't know, Nancy. Good question. I just don't know. Sorry. Yo Pappy said, I've been following you for several months. I reached out for advice, but you're not real responsive. I still like the watch all your stuff. I appreciate it. I'm pretty responsive, man. I'm not sure. Not sure about that. I'm pretty responsive. Every now and again, I'll get 6 paragraphs, and I just simply don't have the time to read it. And if I get 6 paragraphs, I just delete it, because I found in my own experience that if you just do something, if you just kind of respond back in a kind of curt way, it looks worse than not responding back at all, if that makes sense. So if you're sending me 6 paragraphs of stuff, I just won't respond. I just don't have time. You should do TikTok financial videos. Hey, Carl, exactly. Oh man. People tell me I should do more videos on this. I'll get more views. Like, I mean, partly is the views in themselves are fine, it's the watch time that I'm really concerned with more than anything. And frankly, to be honest with you, I like do what I do. And if people don't have to watch it, it's fine. But take my little phone, got my little puppy, go for a walk, start yapping. I like it. Makes me feel good. I don't know why it does. And the more you do it, the more you like it. And some people watch some videos, some people don't. I never know what's going to succeed. And look, I've done Right Capital videos that are just gone over like a freaking a dead fish. I mean, so it's you just never know. I never knew that Chiefs one would take off like that. It's nuts. I've done other videos which are freaking awesome. And I said, man, I remember interviewing my man Flemlow Raps. Flemlow. And interviewed him. I said, what videos do you think takes off? He goes, man, the best ones I ever do don't ever take off. Some of the ones I almost don't do, they do take off. I said, man, that's the same thing with me. You just don't know. Graham Stevens said he lost nearly $2 million on Tesla stock recently. Why do you have that much in Tesla stock, man? Graham Steven is not a financial guru. Yeah, I like Graham. He's entertaining, but I completely agree. Could not agree more. Will I stay in Georgia when I retire? Probably not. It's just a little bit too hot for me down here. A little bit too hot. Virginia, probably western part of Virginia, we'll probably go back to. Maybe over by the Chesapeake Bay area, going up was that Potomac. That kind of area is nice too, but probably back to Virginia. Split the difference between my native land of Maine and my wife is a native of Virginia, as are 3 of my children. So probably Virginia, I'd imagine, but depends on how blue they go. I got to build own firearms, and the nice thing about parts of Virginia is freaking it's incredibly right leaning for sure. It's just that Northern Virginia corridor down to Fredericksburg is freaking left as you can be because the federal government's too big, man. Is 100% VTI in good hands off investing strategy? Oh yeah, we were talking about that. Yep. Backdoor Roth. Hey man, I got 176 viewers at one point. Sweet. My most 215 by me. Wow. My most I've ever had, I think I had 300 one time, which is crazy. So I had 250. I almost didn't do this live stream. It's crazy. Hey, Skip is on here. Skip Ritchie. All right, everybody subscribe to Skip Ritchie's Disability Law. All right, man. All right, sweet. Yay. I guess I have to. All right, so Skip Ritchie, if you're interested in Medicare and disability, that's the guy you want to YouTube channel, Skip Ritchie Law. Wealth tax for Social Security Medicare. Exactly, Dan. I mean, you want to do reparations. That's the easiest way because, I hate to say it, but there are more wealthy white people than black people. That's fact. There are more poor white people than black people. That's fact too. That's just because of demographics. However, as a percentage of the overall population, if black people who are wealthy versus black people who are poor, there's a lot more poor black people than rich black people. As such, making sure Social Security and Medicare get shored up is an absolutely win for black people, without question. Now, it's a win for white people too, and everybody in between. I completely agree. So instead of these freaking lefty foundations giving money away all over the world to lefty groups, and they're just pocketing the money. I mean, at the end of the day, even the guy from the Tides Foundation said that. He goes, they're just pocketing the money. He didn't say it specifically like that, but insinuation was that, let's friggin' say no. We're going to use this money to shore up Social Security and Medicare. It's a win-win, and it's good politics. It's good politics. At the end of the day, you can go to your grave saying, I stood by my libertarian principles, and you never did anything as the commies and Che Guevara put you up against the wall. But you stood by your principles. Or at the end of the day, you can say, something, at the end of the day, as a democracy, we have to win in order to make the society better. To make the society better with vouchers for Medicare, with school choice, with freaking lowering real estate taxes if you can. You see what I'm saying? With making sure that people have access to live in a free society with firearms, police force that will protect them. You provide the defense of the national sovereignty. You police up the borders. You throw criminals, especially recidivism, you throw them back in jail. Say sorry, man. I mean, you do this, and you have a safe, free society. But you don't have that if you don't have power. Politics 101. You got to win. You got to win. This isn't that difficult to me. What is an easy win? Well, it's to say, hey, we're going to shore up Social Security and Medicare for all you lower middle class people, many of them who are Trump's base, by the way, and some black people. And if we can get 15% of the black vote, it's ours. We win. The good guys win. And I'm telling you right now, I feel in my bones. And I sit here in my house and do YouTube. I don't know what the word on the street is in terms of Trump versus Biden. I don't know. But I have sneaky suspicion after seeing these polls that say Trump is getting a decent bump in black support. He hasn't done that by violating, typical conservatism. He just hasn't, in my opinion. And I've been arguing this since day one. Blacks don't like illegal immigration. Freaking Hispanics don't like illegal immigration. And whites don't like illegal immigration. The only people who like illegal immigration is rich Nancy Pelosi types in the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and country club Republicans. That's not what our base is anymore. Our being the Republican Party. That ship has sailed many moons ago. That's not us. Those country club Republicans, the Mittens of the world, Mitt and Romney, they've long sold their souls to left-wing propaganda. But that's not the bulk of America. We know this. The Democrats is wealthy and poor. The Republicans are middle class. All we got to do is gather a few more middle class people, and we cement it for generation, which we can actually do good things for the country and ultimately the world. Look what Trump is doing with Israel and UAE, Israel and Bahrain, freaking the Bosnia Herzegovina. You know what I'm talking about, Slovakia, Serbia, and the Bosnia. Look what Trump is doing. But you got to win, man. You got to win. Look, we actually flew a plane over, was it Saudi Arabia from Israel? You got to win to get this done. But I'm going to my grave and my libertarian conservative principles, all the while freaking the Middle East is up in arms. It's crazy. No, pulverizer. I don't think that's what they're trying to do, to turn the country right by financing the left to be crazy. I don't think, I think they're so far in their bubble, they think the vast majority of people are on the left and only the people on the right are I literally think they think we're Nazis. I really do. Yeah. You need $8 million to retire. No, I'm going to do it again. I didn't do any videos today, Vinyl. I feel like jumping on the live stream. Hey, James Butler is down from Maine. Got to have firearms. I'm in California now. Oosh. I have a pension. Hey, you grew up in Cape Elizabeth. That's where my mom's second husband was, James, in Cape Elizabeth. I went to Cape Elizabeth High School for 3 months as a freshman. So I moved from Portland High School as a freshman. In the second semester, I went to Cape Elizabeth High School, and I even played for the Cape baseball team as a freshman, as a matter of fact. I think Cape Elizabeth even has a football team now. It's crazy. When I was growing up, there's no Cape Elizabeth football team. But I did play baseball with them. I didn't enjoy Cape Elizabeth. I mean, it was okay, but I went there for 3 months. Right on, man. Well, Jared's dad says reparations for your ancestors being enslaved. Sure, go talk to your ancestors who sold your ancestors to slavery. That's one of the things we're going to talk about on Monday. Absolutely. All right, thank you. All right, got the stimulus checks. I didn't get it because I made too much money, man. Freaking Trump. UPS is only $6 off its 52-week high. How does UPS compare to FedEx financially? I don't know, man. Stimulus checks are the reason UPS and FedEx are so busy? I don't think so. I don't think that's no way. Wife is 62. She's a homemaker. Oh, they're both 62. She has 647 Social Security benefits she could claim now. She won't get one half of my benefit till I apply. That's right, JG. She will not get one half of your benefit until you apply. And then it'll be reduced if she files at 62. So it'll basically be 35% of your benefit if she files for her benefit at 62. That's right. All right. Closed-end funds. Yeah, I talked about that not too long ago. They're okay. I got no qualm with them, none whatsoever. Yeah. So should you be just? Oh, we were talking about. Okay, good. The rich won't pay the wealth tax, same as they didn't end up paying the income tax. Well, that's not true. They did. Exxon Mobil dividend still safe. I don't know, man. I bought 100 shares and I'm getting pummeled. So hopefully, making over 75K a year meant you're a millionaire per Nancy Pelosi. Old Nancy, getting her blowout. All right, you are crack up. Daniel says he found my channel a week ago. Right on, man. Our ancestors were slaves. I grew up. Oh, we talked about that. Okay. Okay. Then I'll have a pension, Social Security. Then I'll farm for food and do a 4% draw on 150K. What should I add? Do a 4% draw for 150K. What should I add? I'm not sure what you're saying, man. Yeah, I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow too. All right, so let me jump off this. It's 9 o'clock. We are doing live streams tomorrow. Appreciate y'all being here. I just, like I said, hey, I was on a swim team. We had a hockey. Yeah, man, I miss hockey. That's one thing I do miss about being up north is the hockey teams. When I was in the Army, we'd go see St. Lawrence University in Clarkson because I was in Watertown. Woo, that was fun. Remember the Hoosiers movie? It was like going to Hoosiers except for college hockey. Oh, that was a good time. St. Lawrence had this like old, antiquated wooden stadium, which is freaking awesome. Clarkson had this huge, fantastic stadium. But man, it was fun going to St. Lawrence. We'd go there, and of course, we'd all get lit we'd do our own little, drinking, just tailgating before the game and get lit and try to pick up on St. Lawrence University chicks. Unsuccessfully, I might add. Unsuccessfully. Yeah. So we go over to Oswego State. We go down to Oswego State sometimes. Not many of us had success, but some of us did. Not me. We go over to Potsdam. I had a girlfriend I was dating was up in Potsdam. And then we go down to Kingston, Ontario, because you could drink there at 18. And then 19, we go up to Ottawa. Good times, man. Good times. Good times I had by all. Many of beers hit these lips, but they haven't hit these lips since 1997. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks now.